What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel today, and we are back for the first episode back of Justin's Chats. I teased this a couple of weeks ago about something that I'd been asked about and something that I kind of wanted to get back into, and this gave me a good excuse. So when I did these years ago, it's now been, let's see, the last one, like I said, I think was in September or October of 2019. So it's been 5.5 years since I've done Justin's Chat. They're still on my channel somewhere back in the depths of all the pre-iRacing stuff, the pre-Camaro stuff. It's way back there. But there were 52 of them total, and they were a lot of fun to talk about life, current events, things that were happening in my life, and so on and so forth. And all those were kind of my start into YouTube. I did them all in one take. I did them all just talking in my college dorms at the time, way back then when I was at UWGB. So I figured it appropriate. This is coincidental, by the way, that I wore a UWGB shirt. It was not a plan as part of bringing this back. It just so happened to work that way. But anyways, I'm going to try to keep these fairly short, but just kind of talk about things that happened to me the past month. I'll try to do them at the end of each month or the beginning of the next month, I guess, to post at the end of the month or in the first week of the month or something like that. So today we'll recap January, and unfortunately my memory is not what it used to be, so I had to put all these things on a sticky note so I remember to hit all the topics that I wanted to hit. So anyways, without further ado, we'll get right into it. But first I want to thank you all so much for your love and support. It means the world to me. You all are wonderful, so thank you so much. And I got a couple things to cover today. We're going to start with something that has happened to me really in December of last year that I didn't touch on, and I feel it's appropriate to touch on that. In December, I celebrated my 27th birthday, which I mentioned, I think, in my yearly recap. Wasn't really a special birthday or anything. It's not really a birthday that anybody circles or highlights as something that's, a big monumental thing in their life. But I didn't think of this at the time when I was saying that, but I actually, when I turned 27, passed or equaled or passed, I don't remember exactly which, the life expectancy of a CF patient when I was born. So when I was born in 1997, right, in December of 1997, just barely made 97, the life expectancy of a CF patient, the average life expectancy, obviously not min-max, anything like that. You never know what can happen, but based on the drugs and the treatments they had at the time and what they knew about CF, I was expected to live to be 27 years old. And so obviously now that I've reached that number, it's an accomplishment, it's a celebration, it's something that's pretty special. Not because I'm necessarily counting my years or feeling like I'm living on borrowed time or have a free pass now or anything like that, but just it goes to show you with the health that I have, and I'm so blessed and fortunate to have the health I have, especially in my lungs, but just overall, how far not just treatment has come and medications and what they know about CF, but again, what great care my parents took of me during my youth and taught me all the important things about staying healthy, staying safe, and caring for me and my CF with some of the special circumstances that came along with that. So that's a big deal. But again, I think that this average CF life expectancy now is like 50 or 52 or something like that. So it's nearly doubled. And it's not expected, again, knock on wood, I don't have any wood by me, but whatever. It's not expected that anything having to do with my CF is necessarily going to shorten my life any, which is amazing news. And obviously they're going to continue to increase that life expectancy, hopefully with new medication and new technology that comes out in the next 25 years before I reach that 52 number. So I didn't really talk about that very much, but I figured it was important to touch on that because otherwise I kind of glossed over it, which I didn't mean to do, but it is kind of a big deal in that regard. So thank you to everyone that supports my CF journey and cares for me and gives me so much love and support. It really means the world to me, and I'll try to keep kicking for another 27 so we can still buy those Porsches and Camaros and pump out iRacing content for 27 more years, which will be the death of me, I promise you. Anyway, so that's that. Kind of tying into that, about 3 weeks ago now, I had my, I say quarterly, they're not really quarterly, they're not planned like that anymore. We'll see how many trips there are to Milwaukee for my CF checkups this year. They're going to try to decrease them a little bit, hopefully, if all is still going well and I'm doing okay. Still got some work to do on that, but I don't want to touch on that too much in this video. But anyways, my PFTs, my lung test, my pulmonary function test, was down just a little bit. It was down in the low 100s, which as someone that's been mostly in the 105 to 110 range most of my adult life, let's call it, basically not below the age of 10, like since I was 10, I guess we'll say. It was a little bit frustrating, but again, it's winter, it's cold season. I'd just gotten over a pretty nasty cold a couple weeks before that, before I was down there. So there are a lot of factors that go into that, and I still, again, need to do a little better job of taking care of my health in terms of the exercise I do, my weight, watching what I eat, all the other things that go into being a CF patient that behind the scenes don't look like very abnormal things to most people, and they probably aren't to me either, but they're just things I try to keep track of and keep an eye on a little bit closer because they do impact my greater health. So still got some work to do for that, but we're going to be going back, I think in April or May. I can't remember which, but that'll be in, again, another Justin's Chat a couple months down the line, kind of an update how my health is going. The one thing that we did find that was concerning from that appointment and that visit was my Trikafta drug, which is, I guess you could argue, the most important of the medications I take, the several medications I take. It in a very basic sense, it fights the cause or the root problem of CF and tries to avoid it diminishing further. That's very basic and not correct, but that's for your general understanding what it does. One of the side effects of that is very prevalent is it damages your liver function, and in some way, again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a health wizard by any means. I literally only know CF and marketing and race cars, and I don't know anything else about the body at all. So this is not medical advice. Anyways, it damages the liver somewhat, and so a couple of my numbers were elevated or slightly lower than they'd like or whatever, not wildly off the charts, but just something that they're going to redo some blood labs and test out to confirm nothing's going weird and just kind of keep an eye on it for now. So that was clinic back then. What else has happened? Right at the tail end of last year, again, technically. New Year's Eve, that was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of what we even did. My mom was not doing so well. My mom has a diagnosis I won't share too publicly just in case she doesn't want all the whole world to know. But so she had a really rough couple, like in English, I promise. Every single time I record something, I forget how to English. She had a rough couple days and weeks, so unfortunately the party she had planned didn't get to really happen. I just ended up going over there to chill out. I didn't have anything to do. I'm not a big partier. I'm not a drinker by any means. I'm not someone that goes out and goes to festivals and festivities and, you know, goes to Times Square or anything like that. I literally just think it's another night to stay up, watch TV, hang out, race, go do something with my car, whatever. So there's a lot of things that go on New Year's Eve. I don't want any part of it, especially, again, which I talked about back in the videos that came out around then. People drive drunk, which is really, really stupid, especially in Wisconsin, really stupid, and people do it all the time. I don't want to put myself in that line of fire at risk, even though it's like it's a 5-minute drive or so to my parents' house from here. But I don't even like taking that risk if I don't have to. So I went over there really early, came back after midnight, but before a bar closed, just for that traffic wave to hopefully miss those people. So that was a lot of fun. I got to see Ryan, obviously. I don't even remember what we did. It was like a month ago now, but I'm sure we did something other than watch the ball drop. I noticed that I've gotten kind of old in that regard. Again, 27 isn't that old, but I definitely hate staying up to midnight. Like, it seems like it's such a long night, and I get it's a vacation day. There's nothing going on. I didn't have to work that day, or I took off work that day, I should say. But it was just kind of weird. I was like, wow, today's really a drag. And I'd look at the clock, and it was like 8 p.m. And I was like, all right, even if you only stay up till the East time zone, the New York ball drop, I still got 3 more hours to go. So not in the prime of my youth where I could just pull 24 hours, no problem. I still can when needed, pull nights without sleep, but it's not enjoyable, not fun. So I got quite a ways to fall for my ability to be old. So I'm somewhere in the middle. Definitely not in my youth peak anymore as far as that stuff goes, but hopefully, for the love of God, hopefully not reaching old age of needing to go to bed at 8 o'clock every night, because that would be a disaster. So yeah, that was that. New Year's Eve was a lot of fun. In the first week of January, I got to go to a Bucks game. Ryan and I try to hit 2 or 3 Bucks games a year, so we got to go to a Bucks game. I don't even remember who they played. Oh, they played the Blazers, of course, because that's Ryan's team, is the Portland Trail Blazers. That was a lot of fun to go watch that. Before that, I got to see my very, very good friend from college, Amanda, and her boyfriend. We got to go to lunch. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs, a lot of jokes, and she's always wonderful to see. I don't get to see her nearly as often as I'd like to, but shout out, Amanda. You're one of a kind. You're wonderful. And then we went over to the casino in Milwaukee and just spent a couple hours there and hung out and walked around. I always like walking around casinos just because the atmosphere is really cool. And again, it kind of reminds me of like Discount Vegas, and I loved when I got to go to Vegas. I need to go again for what that's worth. I'll go at some point, hopefully, and just, sometime in the next 10 years, hopefully I'll get to go back to Vegas. But We did that for a little while. That was a lot of fun. So again, it was great to see Amanda. Great to see another Bucks game. I'm trying to think of how that went. Ryan was obviously cheering for the Blazers. I'm not a Bucks fan. I'm a Warriors fan. For those of you that don't know, so like this Bucks Blazers game, I wore my Klay Thompson jersey that I got like 7 or 8 years ago, and people always look at me weird. Like Klay Thompson, like it was weird when he was a Warrior. When I'd go to Bucks games against some other team wearing a Warriors jersey, but now that he's a Maverick and he's not even a Warrior anymore, people really give me some strange looks. But I kind of enjoy that, and I always got to rep. Klay will be my favorite player until he says something bad about Golden State or retires or whatever, and I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. But so that was a lot of fun. I really enjoy getting to go watch basketball with Ryan. Hopefully we still got a couple of GB games left that we can get to, and I'm going to go to one of those with my college roommates at some point in a couple months. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, as always. I always appreciate getting to watch basketball, spending time with my family, and so on and so forth. All right, we talked about New Year's Eve, talked about the Bucks, talked about Clinic, talked about Turning 27. What else is new? So just about a week ago, or a week and a half ago now, had our work Christmas party, which was awesome. Unfortunately, we didn't make our yearly budget for the plant this year, our Green Bay plant, which sucks. A lot of factors went into that. We had a really rough third quarter this year. But it was still a good year. We beat our number from last year, even though we didn't make the budget that was set for us by the corporate office. But it was definitely a year of growth and learning for me. My first full year in the charting position, which was awesome. I had some training from a girl that's the charting person in Milwaukee in the first week of April. And that really turned a corner for me. Before then, I knew what the role was and knew what I was doing, but had a lot of questions about how to go about it and how it relates to nationals and other plants and my plant and all these things. And I had a lot of questions that I didn't really have an outlet to ask properly. But after that training in April, game changer. I mean, I felt like I knew the position in and out, and since then I've only grown, gotten better at my role, and learned a lot about becoming the go-to point and the answer giver. That's not a thing, an answer giver. The person that when someone comes and asks me a question about the things that I do, I can answer accurately and give my sales rep or my boss or whomever accurate information about all that. So that was awesome. It was a wonderful year, and I'm really looking forward to 2025 to see how I can continue to grow, continue to hopefully help if needed any with the kind of nationwide project they have going on, converting everything to quantum. A little bit scary not knowing how that's all going to work out with the sales process, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, I offered my services if they want someone in the field to do more testing with that. So it should be a great year. And again, I'm really, really happy and proud of the growth that I had over this year at work. And the last thing I want to touch on, kind of tying it back to iRacing, which you'll see back again probably tomorrow, or at least some kind of racing, back to cars, which I know best. Doing some PC upgrades. I've mentioned it a couple times. I've had a lot of issues with it. It's just been an uphill battle, especially these last couple weeks, trying to sort out what's going on. For whatever reason, I don't exactly know why this is. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, which is actually probably pretty likely. The upgrade that I did to my graphics card and to my power supply seems to have made my performance, like in comparable conditions on my PC for iRacing. I'm brain fogged right now. Seems to have made my performance worse. So like even at dry races with no sunset and not that many cars, I'm still struggling for frames sometimes. I'm not exactly sure why that is, unless I just burned up everything that was in there before with this upgrade. I don't know, but I'm still trying to get a new CPU. Currently they're out of stock on Amazon from Amazon suppliers, as well as on Newegg. So still waiting on that. I've ordered all sorts of other components. I've ordered a brand new fan, some more RAM for memory. It's just taking longer than I hoped it would. So hopefully Newegg will have some 5700 X3Ds in stock soon. Then I'll be able to pick one up, and then Mom and I can go back in and give my poor PC some more surgery, another round of surgery, I guess, which I should know pretty well as a CF patient. But it's taken longer than anticipated. So again, some of the video quality from the sim stuff and other games have been lacking a little bit, so I apologize about that. But I am working on fixing it. There's just a couple more things I need to order when they're in stock. No idea how long that'll take. I have no idea what to expect, but hopefully in the meantime, I can continue to survive and get some races in and stuff like that. But anyways, that's a wrap for January. Nice 15-ish minute video here by the time I wrap this all up. So hope you all have a wonderful February. I know this is coming out a couple days before February, but I just got to fit in where I can here. Again, hope you all are having a wonderful day. Have a wonderful month. I hope you have a great start to the year. Hope your New Year's resolutions are still going strong. And you'll keep hearing from me and various things moving forward. So I appreciate you all so much. All your love and support is amazing. But Y'all mean the world to me, so thank you all so much. And we'll call that a wrap. So until next time, as always, bye.